Okay, so I will start my today's live coding session. So in my today's video, I will solve this question, Roman to integer. So Roman numbers are represented by 7 different symbols, blah, and blah, and symbol to value here. Okay, for example, 2 is written as 2 in Roman numeral, this and this. Just 2 ones added together. 12 is written as xii, which is 10 and 1 and 1. Which is simply x plus 2. The number 27 is written as xxvii, which is 10, 10, 5, 1, 1, which is, xx plus v plus ii, which is 10 plus 5 plus 2. Okay. Roman numerals are usually written largest to smallest from left to right. However, the numeral for 4 is not 1111. Instead, the number 4 is written as 1, 5. Because the 1 is before the 5, we subtract it, making 4. The same principle applies to the number 9, which is written as 1x, which is -1 and 10. There are 6 instances where subtraction is used. 1 can be placed before 5 and x 10 to make 4 9. X, which is 10, can be placed before L 50 and C 100 to make 1490. Yep. C, which is 100, can be placed before D 500 or M 1000 to make 400 900, giving a Roman numeral converted into an integer. Okay, I'm giving a Roman numeral and converted into an integer. Yes. So basically, the input of this question is string, which represents the Roman character. And the output should be integer, which is the converted integer from the Roman number. Yeah. Good. Okay, so everything's clear. And oh, S is always the valid Roman character, not. Yes, S is always the valid Roman numeral in range 1 to 3999. Good. S contains only the characters, these. Okay. So I've understood the question. Okay. So I will think of some examples. So for example, I will think with like this. Yeah. In this case, M represents 1000, C represents 100, and M represents 1K, okay, and X is 10, and C is 100, I is 1, and V is 5. Yeah. Basically, I have to add all the numbers here, but there's an exception, like these cases. 1 can be placed before 5 and X to make 4, 9. So this works as the -1 because it has 5 later. Yeah. And X here, which is put before L or C, so this works as -10. Yeah. And C, this one, is not placed before D, but placed before M, so it works as -100. So I calculate total of these numbers, and it should be 900, 1900, and 1890, 1990, 1989, 1994, so 1994. Yep, good. Okay. So basically, my intuition is that I use a single iteration of each character and convert each number, or each alphabet into the number and keep track of the total sum. But there is an exception here when there's C or I or X. So when I'm at this C, I have to know what next. Is there M or, D or M? Similarly, when I'm at this X, I have to know what next. Is there error C? And similarly for this I, the same thing happens. So I have to do that kind of tweak in the iteration. So basic idea is traverse chairs and track total sum. But one exception is that if I were to take a look at next chair, yeah, I should multiply negative there. So that's the basic idea. When I'm at C, I will take a look at the next number M, and I find that this should be negative 100. So I multiply negative 1 to this number 100 before adding the total sum. Good. My concern here is it possible that it becomes like this? Because in this case, it should be negative 1, negative 1, and 5. I'm wondering if this is the case. Or doesn't exist. Or it should be negative 1 plus negative 1 plus 5. Because 1 before 5 applies to only this number. So this is what I'm wondering here. And I will take a look at the question again. Yes, seems like 1 can be placed before x and v and x to make 9. I think this is 1v only. It doesn't mention about the 1v. So I don't know if this exists or not, but at least I can go with this. Yeah. Okay. Aside from that, I have no concerns. Yeah. Cyber cells implementation. Represents that the time complexity should be O of n, assuming that there are n characters in the given string S. And for space complexity, it should be constant. I'm pretty sure I didn't use any non-constant space. Okay, I restart implementation. So firstly, I would say symbol to value mapping. I will append more items here. And also, I will take care the character to the next character mapping, which makes the first character negative. So I would say negative pair. So in this case, it should be 1 to set of v or x. Yep. In this case, when I take a look at 1, and if the next character is v, it means that I should negate this negative 1. Okay. So with this being used, moment to value. So this is how I get the value. This char, so definitely included in the symbol to value because given string is valid. And then I will check if this is in this one. So if oh wait, let me iterate with index. Yeah. Yep. But this next char may not exist. So it doesn't exist in the case when I is the end index. So okay, I will check it in this way. Or maybe it's more understandable like this. Yep. Okay, so this is how I can handle the case. Yeah, but maybe I can just use default set. Default dict. No, I have to. Yeah, sorry. I think sorry. Yeah, I think this is better way. Okay, so here I can get the is negative now. So if is negative, what do you mean? Yeah, I can do it in this way. Then I return the total sum. Good. So let me quickly explain my code. That I initiate a total sum, and I iterate each index and take a look at the char and next char. And value here is the value of the current char. Yep. Good. Then I will take a look at is negative. So its current value should be negative if the current char is the key of the negative adjacent chars, and next char is in the value of this mapping. Yeah, I think this is more easy with this. I don't have to use the nested data structure here. So I will use it. So in this way, I can just write it in this way. Okay, so I will check if this is negative. And if this is negative, I multiply -1 to value and append it to the total sum. And otherwise, I increment the total sum with the value itself. And I return total sum. Good. Okay, so I will try run my code after filling in these two hash maps. And next here, XLXC. And what is it? C, D, and CM. I will double check. IVIX, XLXC, CD, CM. Good. Okay. So I will try run my code. So I will think of the very easy case like IVI. I don't know if this is valid. Yeah, but let me go with this. Assuming that this is valid, I expect 3. So let me take a look. So firstly, here, I should be here now. I start with index 0. And char is si, which is I. And the value should be 1. Yeah. And I will check if this is negative or not. So next char is, because I is 0, is not equal to 2. So I take a look at this. So si plus 1 is si, which is v. Yep. So iv tuple is in this negative adjacent chars. Yes. So its negative is true. So I add -1 times value, which is 1, is -1. Total sum is now -1. Okay. Then I iterate I, move I, and I is now index 1. So it should be V. And next char is, because 1 is not 3 minus 2 is 2. 1 is not 2. So I take a look at Si plus 1, which is I. Yep. Now value of char should be 5. But it's negative. This is V and I pair. Oh, no, yeah, this is not included. So it's negative false. So I add exactly value, which is now 5. So it becomes 4. Then I move the index and it turns to be index 2. So chair is I and next chair is now none because index 2 is equal to ranks minus 1, which is 3 minus 1 is 2. This is none. And value here should be chair is I, so it is mapped into 1. This is 1. And its negative is obviously false because the tuple is now I and none, which is not included. So I just add value as it is. Yep. So total sum is now incremented by 1. So it becomes 5. Sorry, now expected is 5, sorry. So this is complete result 5 equal to 5. I return in the try run. Good. Okay, so now I'm confident on my code. I covered all the lines, all the cases. So I submit my code. Good. Great, accepted. Okay, I quickly wrap up with code in practice. Yeah, today it was so easy. So my today's question was, given the Roman string, I will convert it into a numeral integer. Basically, what I have to do is iterating each character and calculating the total sum. But there are some cases that number should be added as a negative number. So I listed those cases in this hash map. And in that case, instead of adding the value itself, I added minus value to the total sum, which should be eventually returned. Okay, that being said, I finished my today's coding practice. Thank you so much. Bye.